start? Before I go live, I'm going to rush through this. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Yes. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah wa salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Amma ba'd. Fa'awudhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I'm just going to open my YouTube so that if there's any questions, I can see them live. For those who are watching, who tune in on live, my name is Saad Beg, one of the imams here at ISB. And Hajj Seminar is on. Alhamdulillah. So the question answers are also on our YouTube channel. So if you have any questions, please ask. I would also request one of the admins to also look through, because I'm not going to look at the questions all the time. Bismillah wa salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Amma ba'd. Fa'awudhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. الحج أشهر معلومات فمن فرض فيهن الحج فلا رفث ولا فسوق ولا جدال في الحج وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم الحج المبرور ليس جزاه إلى الجنة أو كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم. So first and foremost, mashallah, Mubarak to all those who are planning to go for Hajj this year. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our Hajj. May Allah make it easy for us and allow us to return with complete forgiveness. Ameen ya Rabb. For those who are in the group with the ISB Hajj, you all know that my plan was to go on this seminar very, very fast. So this is a very intense, very quick group seminar. The reason is I hope everyone has already done this. So this is the last review. Oh, I just need one. So this was a very quick review. So there are some of you who are going with us on the 8th of Dhul Hijjah. That is a week from today, inshallah. I know some of you are leaving few days before that, so sometime next week. And others are leaving on Sunday and Monday. So within next 5 to 10 days, almost all of you, those who are going for Hajj, will be departing. So physically and psychologically being ready is very, very, very important, right? Now that being said, what I want to quickly go through is, so you're gonna moving on the slide as I talk? Here. I think it's this one. So you can go on the next slide. We're doing the part one first. Not the overview. Overview we'll do the last. So what I'm going to go through first is very quick journey of Umrah. So before I explain Umrah, anyone here, brothers and sisters, and anyone online, if anyone's doing Qiran Hajj, then see me or text me individually. I'm assuming majority of you will be doing Tamattu, right? I'll be doing Tamattu. I explained that in one of the videos. If you do not know, go back and look at it. Tamattu is when you're doing Umrah first, and you come out of Umrah, and then you're doing Hajj after that. Or if you're going to Medina, still, you're only putting one ihram and you're going to go do Hajj straight, or you're coming to Mecca, again, you do Umrah first, you come out of ihram, and then you put the ihram for Hajj. Two different ihram is tamattu. That's what I'm going to be explaining. If anyone's doing different, there's not much of a difference, inshallah. So I just mentioned a few hadiths. Preparation for Hajj, everyone has followed on different programs, but intention, forgiveness from one another. Even if you are late, you could ask for forgiveness, and learning about Hajj. This is one of the points of learning of Hajj. First and foremost, niyyah. We are doing this to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, sincerely asking, begging, crying to Allah, Allah accept it and forgive me. Grant me the greatest gift of Hajj, which is forgiveness. Hajj is a sacrifice. This year, alhamdulillah, was there for Umrah last year and the year before, and few times. From last 15 years, what I'm seeing is Hajj or any journey to Mecca and Medina, where what used to be sacrifice is now turning into, is interchangeable from sacrifice and vacation. Like you see one of the top luxuries of that you have ever seen. At the same time, there will be difficulties. So don't have high expectations, thinking that you will only see luxuries and and what do you call, comfort. At the same time, there will be hardship because this is not Umrah. For those who have been for Umrah, this is not the Umrah. There will be difficult times. So ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for help. Remember, Al-Hujjaj, Duyuf ar-Rahman. Duyuf means guests. So we are guests of Allah. So understand that concept. So therefore, since the fact that we are here, if there are any difficulties, we will go through it, inshallah, as individual, whoever is with you in the team. Learn about Hajj, intention, ask for forgiveness, get to know your travel agent. In this case, most of you are within your subgroups. Vaccinations, whatever are required, make sure. Walking and jogging. And for brothers, I cannot overemphasize, especially the ones who are going for the first time. Practice your ihram again and again and again, multiple times a day. Those who are expert in it, they actually don't put the belt on. So figure out different ways. Mufti Menk has some beautiful videos of how to put on ihram. I will show that maybe towards the end if we have some time. Preparation, there's so many WhatsApp groups right now who are giving all the different ideas. I always try to keep something very simple. Whatever you are going to keep on, especially for brothers and also for sisters. Sisters, mashallah, you could carry your purse with you, so you can put a lot of things in it. For brothers, there's no pockets on your ihram. There's nothing else. Backpack can get heavy. Two important things everyone should keep on them all the time, right? When they give you your passport, keep your passport and money with you, and your cell phone. If they keep your passport, of course, your cell phone should have the copy of your passport and your visa and all the important documents. Your cell phone should always be there with you. So whatever it requires, if your cell phone is not keeping battery, for a long time, replace it. Whatever it is. The second most important thing that everyone should take a lot with you is sabr. Take loads of patience with you, and I can promise you that we will all be tested. And these are all our brothers and sisters from all around the world. So understand, these are not just people from ISB or people from my friend circle or the clique or Americans who understand the nature. People come from different backgrounds, different understandings, different mentality. They may say things that are different. So have a lot of sabr. These are all Muslims. They're all coming for Hajj. Do not lose your temper. In second floor tawaf, when you're walking, you have done nothing to anybody. And this is the circle where, the second floor where there should be no wheelchairs. Someone's going to sneak their wheelchair in there. And they're going very fast. They might hit you. They might go over your foot. Swallow. Allah says, swallow your anger, walk away. Someone will help you. If that happens, we hope it doesn't happen. But if you see a wheelchair person coming, just walk away. That's the best thing. But have a lot of sabr, inshallah, because you definitely need it. When we leave next week, for those of us who are coming with me, make sure when we are leaving our house, make sure people who are going to Makkah first, who are the brothers, especially brothers who are going for Makkah first, please keep your ihram with you. So I plan on traveling very light, meaning all my suitcases will be checked in. I'm not taking any hand carry, only my backpack, and in my backpack will be my ihram. Right, that's how I travel, so I don't need to carry things around. We have a stopover in Doha, just change it and put my whatever clothing inside, that's it. If you want to carry your hand carry, they'll be with you the whole time, wherever your stopover is. I don't think anyone has a direct flight because they have, it's a very, very exclusive individuals got the direct flight. Make sure you have your passport, give some charity before you leave, pray 2 rakat salah before you leave your house, leave your family and your belongings in the trust of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and khalas, our journey starts. The moment we leave our house, our journey starts, and it's a very blessed journey, inshallah. However we go through, we enter in Makkah, for those who are going to Makkah first. For those who are going to Medina, alhamdulillah, you have much more relaxed setting. You will go in Medina, and then finally your group will tell you when you're going to Makkah. For those of us who are going Makkah first, for us, we go to Qatar. From Qatar, we'll put our ihram on in Doha. That flight will be full of Hujjaj. Perhaps one of the best moments you will ever see. The whole flight of Hujjaj, and everyone's reciting Talbiyah. It's about hour and a half or hour 50-minute flight, entering straight in Jeddah. And there, once we enter in Jeddah, we need to have a lot of sabr because you are not special. You're not the only one who's special. Your flight and your group are not the only people special. There are literally hundreds and thousands of people who have arrived within the last few hours. So they will take us in. We have to still go through our immigration, pick our luggages, and then wait for the bus. For example, our flight's arriving there 1 o'clock at night, I believe, right? So it's possible we're arriving there 1 o'clock, we'll still be there at the airport till Fajr. That's okay. Sabr. Bathrooms are there, snacks are there, and then finally once we get there, and for those who are going to Medina, you go to Medina, from there you are traveling, almost half of the ummah who was there, probably at least 1 million people are going for Hajj at the same time. So they will go to Mecca and do Umrah. Again, at the stop at Bi'r al-Ali. How many people are going to Medina first? Medina people, please understand, even if you have went for Umrah multiple times, you will stop at Miqat right outside Medina, Bi'r al-Ali, right? And there, every single thing looks identical. It's a huge stop, like a masjid. It's a very symmetrical masjid, very similar on both sides. So if you stopped on this end, then know which your bus number is, your group R, and then come out. Because sometimes if you come out the other side, which looks exactly identical, because it's symmetrical setting of the masjid, then you'll be looking for your bus for 5 hours, you'll never find it, because there are hundreds of buses on both sides. Quick tip for those who are going to Medina. You come in the state of Ihram, we already talked about it for those who went for Umrah. Brothers put on their 2 white clothes, and for the Doha people, meaning the people who are going to Mecca first, put on. You could put your perfume on at that point because you're still not in the state of Ihram. You pray, if you're wearing kufi, you put your kufi, you pray 2 rakat salah. And then the moment you say talbiyah is important. The moment you say talbiyah is when you come in the state of Ihram, not physically, but spiritual state. Talbiyah, everyone should memorize it. I'll say it once. If you want to repeat, you can repeat after me. لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك. One more time, everyone. This is going to be our, the times we are breathing, that's how many times you're going to be saying this. Non-stop. Even when we're sleeping, we're saying talbiyah. When we're waking up, especially the old ihram. Let's go. The whole plane ride, Brother Robert, will be talbiyah. Everyone will be reading this. لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك. Your voice, you should get tired by saying this. This meaning, oh Allah, I'm here. Labbaik, oh Allah, I'm here. You have asked us, Hajj al-Bayt, do the Hajj for on those who the Hajj is for. I'm here, Ya Allah. It's a very emotional cry. It's me, my Allah. I don't care about anyone or anything. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. Labbaik. Oh Allah, I'm here. There is no one worthy of worship except you, Ya Allah. Inna alhamda, the praise, the hamd, the greatness is only, it exclusively belongs to you, Ya Allah. Lak alhamd, la sharika lak. Again, no partners to you, Ya Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ihram. For brothers, when your right shoulder is exposed, remember the technical word. It's called idtiba. Idtiba. It's only done when you're doing tawaf in ihram, and after that tawaf is sa'i. And there's a little bit technical things I'll explain later. So you only do idtiba when you have your your ihram on. It's only for brothers. You see a lot of funny things. Once, you know what I'm talking about. Once I have seen a sister take her hand out. Astaghfirullah. Only for brothers. Idtiba. And ramal, walking like a warrior, jogging in the first 3 shots, in the first 3 rounds, only for brothers, not for sisters. Talbiyah, reading out loud, only for brothers. Sa'i, running between the Safa and Marwa, between the green lights, only for brothers, right? Idtiba is only on that tawaf in which you have ihram on, and that tawaf after that there is a sa'i. Not every tawaf there's a sa'i after that. Can someone tell me which tawaf there is no sa'i after that? Very good, mashallah. Someone have, where's Naveed? You're taken care of very well, mashallah. She knows her stuff. The tawaf al-wada, the farewell tawaf, there is no sa'i after that. If you happen to be in the state of ihram, you're just doing tawaf, then there is no idtiba. Just remember that technical thing. Sisters, normal clothing, mashallah. When you come in the state of ihram, pray 2 rakat sunnah, and then face the qibla, then you start. I'm just going to go very fast. All of this, I believe, Lutfi, we have, everyone should have the slides of this, go back and come back. The moment you say talbiyah, you come in the state of ihram. We already recited talbiyah. Any sort of so things that are prohibited in ihram is any expression of love or physical contact of intimacy with your partner, hunting or they're applying any fragrance on your clothes, on your body, removing any hair or clipping your nails, wearing for brothers any stitched clothes or footwear, head covering for brothers, face covering for women, and harming. And the last point is the most important thing: harming any Muslim. وَلَا رَفَثَ وَلَا جِدَالَ فِي الْحَجِّ. That means in ihram. So be very kind and mindful of one another. Things that are permissible: umbrella, shade, glasses, and changing of clothes for sisters. Changing of ihram for brothers is okay. Taking showers okay when you're hot, especially in Hajj time when we are in Mina. If it gets so hot, sometimes you just put water all over you, and if it's wet, you change your ihram. I'll talk about Hajj. It's okay. It's safe if you know that you want to change your ihram. It's okay to take another pair of ihram. Naveed, can you just open one ihram from the box, please? Pillow is okay. Miswak, carrying something on your load. Now, when you're in the blanket, if you're sleeping, then covering your blanket without realizing it. Of course, you're ghair mukallaf. You're not mindful of it, but purposely just covering your head. It's not allowed. And if you do it for a long duration, for more than let's say about 15-20 minutes, then you have to give dam. The word dam, meaning a penalty, keeps coming on. So can you open it? Just give me one sheet. 3 types of Hajj. We already went through that as one of the videos. Tamattu, Qiran, and Ifrad. Again, majority of you are doing Tamattu. That's what I am assuming. Heading for Umrah. When we enter the Umrah, because we're in the state of Ihram, what are we reciting? Talbiyah. As much as we can, we recite Talbiyah. This is the old picture. This is the old picture. And then what you are seeing here, does it have a, what do you call the pointer or the laser? So can you just show them here? You know what? So Mataf is the main floor. Mataf is the main floor down there, only that small area. That's very, very big. The second, so right after Mataf, the inner circle, this part, is that small masjid area. That's actually the first floor, right when you enter the masjid, right? Then the second floor is down there. Then there's a roof, third floor. So there's another floor between second and third. It's a very small floor that's for scooters. Every place will be packed. If you want to, and the best place to be in for salah or even to do tawaf is Mataf. Where is Mataf again? Down there. If you want to do that, you have to plan. And you have to be somewhat little bit, not aggressive, but alert. You have to find your way. If they close one gate, you got to find another way. And then at some point, you have to give up and just go. You cannot lose all your energy. But it's much more easier because imagine that each circle that you're doing, you have to do it 7 times. In the Mataf, it might take between 10 to 20 or 25 minutes per circle, depending on the crowd and how fast they are moving. On the second floor or on the roof, it can take up to half an hour to 45 minutes for one circle. So heat is a factor that, of course, everyone is saying that we have to be extra careful of. If it's late night, it's packed, you cannot go in the Mataf area, still do tawaf on second or third floor because it still be cool. Right? Don't fight to get into the Mataf, which is the ground, the main floor, and you only get a chance to go after Dhuhr. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't recommend anyone doing that either. Especially for Umrah, because you want your Umrah to be, you need to get it done quickly without much of exertion, because next 4 or 5 days will be very, very heavy. You enter towards Masjid. I'm going to go very fast, guys. We're already close to 11:30. We know you enter, you make your dua. First time, one thing I'm going to say, first time when you look at the Kaaba, du'as are accepted. So when you are walking in the Mataf or even the first floor, second floor, don't try to look for the Kaaba. Just try to look down as much as you can where you can get in. Inshallah, if we are together, we'll try to go in the Mataf area. Till the Kaaba is right there, maybe about 100, 200 feet from you. But then you still want to get to a spot, then you look up. I promise you, one of the most beautiful scenes. Even though you have seen before, try to get your full glance of Kaaba, then you make dua. There's no rush. No one's waiting for you. There's no meeting, no phone calls, nothing. Make sure your phone is on silent. So phone is just there for emergency. No pictures. I mean, the first moment with Kaaba, you just look at it and, ask any dua. All the duas are accepted. One of the most precious moments, mashallah. Here, if you look at the set of minarets, how many set of minarets, pairs of minaret do we see? How many? 4 pairs. And there's one single minaret. Do you see one single minaret? It's right here towards me. So when you're inside, you will see that this is a sign that that's the direction where you start your tawaf. If you are in a macro level, meaning if you're on 3rd floor or if you're on 2nd floor, you cannot find the green light, remember the minaret. Other than that, all the way there, the Kaaba, there's a black stone in that corner. There's lights all throughout. Before they used to have a marking on the floor. 2nd floor and 3rd floor, there's a marking on the floor too, because that's where you start your tawaf. So that is the point to remember. 4 major acts of Umrah: tawaf, then praying salah after you're done with tawaf, which is 7 times, and then after that Sa'i, number 3. Number 4 for brothers, halaq, sisters qasr, which is trimming your hair out. Now, for brothers who do not have the hair, they still have to shave their head. For those who have big hair, remember there'll be at least 2 times that you would have to trim or shave your head. So what I usually do is go number 1 or number 2 after Umrah. You have something left for Hajj, so you could shave it at that point. If you shave it now, you still, by another 4 or 5 days, something will grow up and you will do it again. So these are the 4 major acts. I don't want to go into too much details of that, although I have that in this slide, everything what to do. You guys should do it. Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. You start your istilam. It's called istilam, meaning salam, right in the beginning. Then you start your tawaf, counterclock time. 1 time you go all around, counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At 7th one you finish, that's where your tawaf is completed. Few quick things I mentioned about iltiba and ramal. Iltiba was exposing your right shoulder. That's done on all 7 circles. Ramal is only for first 3 times. Both of these is only for brothers. Very good. Quick reminders regarding tawaf rulings is eating is disliked, drinking, but if you get thirsty, obviously there's a lot of zamzam everywhere. Last few years, I have seen, last few times for Hajj, especially for Hajj, I have seen that there will be people walking around with water. The workers, they have this big, cooler behind them, and they'll give you water around. Mashallah, that's good. Tawaf, wudu is required to make tawaf. If you break your wudu, it's okay. Or if you have to go use the bathroom, exit, find where the bathrooms are, make your wudu, come back. So if you're in the mataf area, it's designed such that your bathrooms will be in a place where you can come back. Okay? So don't leave the entire building, especially if you have your spouse or your family or friends together. Have good coordination, because if you want to come back to the spot where you were, then you want to go use the bathroom that is accessible for that floor. Now, let's say in the middle of 5th round, you have to use the bathroom or you broke your wudu. You go make wudu, you come back, you have to start the 5th round again, not all the way from the beginning. Halfway 5th round doesn't count. You have to start from the beginning of the 5th round, and then you finish 1 circle, that'll be a 5th, and you continue, same thing. Salah time comes. If you're in the mataf, getting some water. If you're in the mataf area, salah time starts, you stop and you pray. Sisters, organically, they will make arrangements such that sisters will pray on one side. Maybe they'll have these different pockets. They'll put those barriers, and the sisters will pray, brothers will pray. Right after salah is done, then you start continuing your tawaf. Again, these are the things. It's in the Hajar Aswad is the main line where the green line is, and you start going around. The semicircle, which is called Hatim, most likely they'll close it. Not most likely, for sure they will close it, because you will have to just walk around it. During Hajj time, they will not keep it open. Sa'i is between Safa and Marwa. Please go through the... Just last year, I was explaining this to the whole group, our Umrah group. So they're like, okay, Sheikh, don't worry. We'll be just with you. I'm like, no, you still have to listen and learn properly, because you cannot be with the group. You will lose me, because they were like, last year we went to Umrah for Palestine. Last year. 2022? So last year, I think. Last year. So last year, the brother from Palestine, they came in the Umrah with us. Right, Sister Haneen's husband. So he's like, I said, let's go through the whole thing. He's like, no, it's okay. I'll be just with you the whole time. Just tell me how to do it. So we lost this brother. Sa'i 7 times. So Tawaf, I explained him. You have to go around the Kaaba 7 times. One whole circle is considered one Tawaf. Sa'i, this guy, obviously you get tired. It's a lot of walking, because especially if you want to do back to back, right? So in Sa'i, this brother, he thought he had to do the same thing. Whole circle is considered one. It's not. Sa'i from Safa to Marwa is 1, Marwa to Safa is 2. So if you start in Safa, you end at Marwa, you're 7th. So he's doing 14 times. He's like, but I remember Sheikh Saad saying you will end at Marwa, not at Safa, it's 14. Oh, maybe he doesn't know what he's talking about. He went one more. He did 15 circles. Subhanallah. Sorry, 15 times. 7 full circle of Safa and Marwa. No, it's only 1 time, and you come back. For Sa'i, few things. Wudu is not required. Salah time comes, of course, you have to pray, and then you move forward. I'm just going to go fast. Ruling, Salah time comes, wheelchair. Sometime, especially after Hajj or if something happens, people who might start Tawaf walking, they may need wheelchair. They can use that during Sa'i. Sa'i, again, walking with Safa and Marwa. Halaq, there are some rules and regulations for sisters or brothers. There's a technical thing is, you cannot, because you are in the state of Ihram. Sister, you're in the state of Ihram. You cannot trim your hair, or brothers, you cannot shave your hair by yourself. So obviously, sisters, when you're going, majority of the time you're going with your mahram, with someone from your family. So brothers, they would go to the barbers. There's a lot of barber shop when you finish at Marwa, right outside or in your hotel, under your hotel, there are all these barber shops are there. They can take you out of the state of Ihram by shaving or trimming your hair, as to the brothers. Then if you have a family member, then you could go trim their hair, the sisters. For example, your wife, your sister, or your mother. Now, if a sister, she came out of the state of Ihram because, some of the family member, male member have trimmed their hair. Now, that sister can trim another sister's hair. Please, for the sake of Allah, everyone, for both brothers and sisters, your dignity, your honor, your modesty should be at paramount everywhere, most especially in Haram. You don't trim your hair outside. You go inside, because you will see this. And the worst thing is, just because you're seeing someone doing it doesn't mean that you should be doing the same thing. Some people, mashallah, for whatever reason, you see sisters, right when they're done at Marwa, they just, take out their hijab and they start trimming their hair or have some. So, and there will be some people there walking around with scissors. Oh, we'll cut your hair. Come, let's, no. Do it proper way. You go get yourself trimmed and somewhere else. Now, for those of us who are in Makkah, at that point, when your Umrah is done, go back in your hotel, take shower, you change your clothes, you just rest. Only thing, remember, is 5 daily prayers. Come down. If your hotels are close by, mashallah, you're lucky. You come down, you pray your salah, you go back. If your hotels are far, try your best to come as much as you can. If you feel that you're getting sick, or you feel that it's too hot during the hard time, or whatever the case is, in those very difficult situations, especially knowing that the next few days will be Hajj, rest. Rest and pray. If for some reason you are not able to get up for Dhuhr, for example, if you're getting up and praying yourself, remember, all of us will be musafir. We will be travelers. So you will be only praying 2 rakats for your Dhuhr, Asr, and Isha. Yeah, don't waste time in Makkah at that point. If you have energy, you're doing ibadah, reciting Quran, doing dhikr, and just 2nd floor, 3rd floor, right? Just go there, sit down. You get the view of Kaaba. Just make dua as much as you can and engage. You're tired, either you could just take a nap there in the Haram or come back in your hotel. Majority of the packages, breakfast is complimentary. So, breakfast, they have a very lavish breakfast. It's almost like lunch or brunch that goes till all the way to 11 o'clock, I believe, or 10:30. So you could, pace yourself up and, have a good meal. And you're done. Basically, you're done with Umrah. I'll quickly make a pause here and see. Can you just read the questions loud if some of the questions are there? If there are any questions. So we are done with Umrah. The first part, this is the Umrah for Hajj. If anyone is doing Qiran at this point, you still do Umrah, you don't come out of the state of Ihram. You understand? Is anyone doing Qiran? Naveed? You? If you're thinking of doing Qiran, so you do everything what I told you to do, but at the end, when you, after Marwa, when you're done in Sa'i, you don't shave your head. You just go back to your hotel, but you're still in the state of Ihram, not just physically, spiritually as well. You just stay in your hotel. So all the prohibition, that'll still continue. You keep coming and praying. You'll see a lot of people doing that as well. And then you go to Hajj with this, with the same Ihram. Does that make sense? Lotfi, what's the question? Yes, very good question. So yes, all the unwanted hair, from your private area, from your armpits, for brothers, your mustache and stuff. So these need to be taken care of before you leave. Clipping your nails before, it's best to just do it before you leave your house. So when you come in the state of Ihram, you're already in the most pure and clean state. Oh, is there any other question? Okay. All right. So now I'm going to quickly now breeze through. What are we at time? It's 11:30. Very good. Remember, all your questions ask, and then I'm going to go through a very our current state Hajj and its technicalities and some of the tips for that, inshallah. For those of us, like myself and few of us who are going to Mecca first, we will be arriving there 9th night, right? 9th of June. 10th day of June, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th. Until then, we just have Makkah time, right? So you just rest. If someone wants to, those who are going to Makkah, if they want to do another Umrah, strongly not recommended. I strongly do not recommend that. If you want to do another Umrah, this is the time. So you just have to put your clothes on. Physically, you have your ihram on for brothers, sisters, normal clothing. You have to leave the miqat, the area of Hajj. You have to go to Masjid Aisha, make niyyah, and then come back. Then you have to do every single thing again, which is Tawaf, Sa'i, another Umrah. You again come out of Ihram. But it's a lot of exertion. The whole point is just relax and get ready, because the Hajj days will be very, very difficult. So that's the only thing I could think of. Other than that, spend your time wisely. Don't eat. Everyone's saying this on almost every single group. Don't stay in the sun excessively. Just a few days ago, someone forwarded me the news that Saudi, especially in Mecca, they're expecting the temperatures to go till 130, record high heat index. So whatever it takes. I bought that fan that goes around your neck. Although my dear friend said it's bid'ah, it's okay, brother. Whatever it takes. Those handheld fans with mist coming out. Whatever it takes when you're out there. Umbrellas, keep more than one if you need to. But the stay in Mecca, when you're going to pray your daily salah, especially for Dhuhr time, just be mindful. That's all I'm saying. It can if it's a very exclusive exposure to sun in the heat, in the midst of the heat, even for 20 minutes, you might feel that at the moment you can take it, either in the evening or next day you'll get sick. I'm telling you, we are not used to it. It happened to me multiple times, especially for Hajj, when Hajj was in December, November, and in August. Next 3 days, you just get sick because we are not used to it. So just be very careful. Put your umbrella on. Another thing I forgot to mention is keep your have a musalla with you. Have a small musalla with you, because if you're gonna come down even 20 minutes before salah, most likely you will not get a spot in the masjid or in the haram. So a small musalla, when you get there, something you could quickly buy and just keep it with you. You can take it from here too, but it's good to have one. You just buy from there something special. Buy a nice, good, high quality. It'll be a memory for very long, inshallah. Hopefully, lifelong. So now we will go on Hajj. So those who are going to Medina first, you spend your time in Medina, and then when you come to Makkah, you do the same thing. Because if you're doing tamattu, you have to quickly do. Most of them will do Qiran at that point, because you just go from there. If you have 1 or 2 days extra, you could still do tamattu. You come out of Ihram. But on the 8th day of Dhul Hijjah, right? So let's go, re-entering in the state of Ihram for tamattu. when you're in Mecca, the people in who are doing Umrah first or in Mecca first, you can just quickly take shower and get ready and you wear your clothes. You don't come in the state of Ihram until you say your talbiyah. Yes, my brother. It all depends on your package, brother. You got to look at your package. The one that I know your package, I think you have 4 days, 4 nights, including the first night. But remember, our flight is arriving at 1 o'clock at night. No, because we are entering from Qatar within the state of Ihram. So we are already entering in Miqat with our Ihram. So we are Muhrim. We are in the state of Ihram. We will only come out of Ihram when we shave our head, when we finish our Umrah. So we are still in Mecca where we have finished our Umrah. People of Medina, when they enter, they will come in the state of Ihram and they will do Umrah first. No, no. So now when the time for Hajj comes on the 8th day of Dhul Hijjah, not June, 8th day of Dhul Hijjah, while in the hotel, you just put your Ihram on and you're ready whenever your group leader tells this is the bus, this is the time the bus is leaving, come down. You leave, you say your talbiyah, you don't have to leave, your question is you don't have to leave Miqat. In the hotel, you make niyyah, you put your ihram and you leave. That's good? Yes. If you're doing second Umrah before Hajj, you leave only to do Umrah, not for Hajj. So if you, again, as I mentioned, I don't recommend, strongly I don't recommend, but if you do another Umrah, again, you go to Masjid Aisha, you come in the state of Ihram, you come back, you do Umrah again, you come out. You just wait. So the Ihram for Hajj, you don't have to leave out. You don't have to go out, if that's your question, inshallah. Good? Same thing, re-entering in the state of Ihram. I just mentioned this in details. Yes, sister. Dam. Dam, I mentioned dam is you have to sacrifice an animal. It comes out to be 120. There's a brother who just reached out to me. By the way, speaking about dam, the sacrifice of the Hajj, I just found out that our group, they have already taken that money, I think $150 for the sacrifice. I also found out that some groups, they have not taken the money from them. So you have to give it to them when we get there or find somebody else, right? So one of the brothers, local brother, he's from Saudi originally, but his brother lives in Mecca. So he reached out to me saying, Sheikh, if we know anybody who wants to do their Hajj sacrifice, let us know. You can give him the money. He's like, his goal is to sacrifice out and give it to the Burmese and the Rohingyans who are there. They're in thousands, hundreds and thousands of them in a very, very, very bad situation, below poverty line. So we can just give them the meat because they don't get to eat the meat the whole year except on this time when people would give them and they store it. So if anyone wants to do, if they have not paid for their Hajj sacrifice, they can, I can share that contact information with you. Or if someone has done a major penalty and they have to give them, then also we can give that to this person. Good? Leaving from Mina. So usually they say, get ready after Fajr on the 8th day of Dhul Hijjah, we're going to leave. There was a time we said, okay, so we are just waiting in the lobby for our bus turn to come. It was Dhuhr time. Then people get very anxious. Oh, because for the last 4 or 5 days we were praying Salah in the Haram. You got the taste and you got the, the spirituality. They say, can I go pray? The group leader will say, no. They say, we waited 6 hours. Can we just quickly pray and come back? He'll say, no. What ends up happening? Asr time will come. It came. Asr time, we left. It took literally almost, 13 hours. World. As much as we can criticize them, and maybe rightfully so and politically, Hajj time, just stay quiet. They're doing a huge service, which no one in the world is doing that service or able to do anything similar to that. 4 million people. SubhanAllah. So when they say your bus is coming this time, you come ready. This is a time that I think almost every Hajj group have reminded us, take something very simple. Backpack or a carry-on, but whatever you're going to take, something that you will carry all the time, right? Husband and wife, couple, I see some of the couples who are going. Don't think, oh, my husband's going to carry all this. Your husband is not going to be with you. Different camps, different tents. You're not going to come back, oh, can you please call my husband there? No one's going to do that. We don't even know who your husband is. Keep your own stuff. Best is, I will tell you how many days we are there. 8th night for sure. Then we go to Mina. When we go to Arafat 9th, Muzdalifah 9th night, 10th and 11th. So about 3-4 days. It all depends on how your package is tailored and also depending on different circumstances. Now, a lot of technicalities come. I usually leave it at the moment to make a decision. And I'll talk about that, especially on the 10th day, 11th day, and 12th day. It all depends on how the situation is, the condition of the weather, and whatnot. So anyways, we leave for Mina, recite Talbiyah. Now, our Ihram, right now, is not the Ihram for Umrah. What is the Ihram for? Hajj. This is it. This is where the roller coaster is now starting. This is the most intense time. So all your energy, whatever you are packing in your backpack, not extra things, but most important things. If you need your medication, it's in your backpack. If you need those hydration pouches in your water, don't take water bottles. Someone mentioned in the group, can I take a lot of water bottles? Water will be readily available for everyone all the time. If you still want to be precautious, just take something that is light. Because don't burden yourself. Be very smart. Don't overthink. Sheikh Yasser Burjaz was saying, don't overthink and don't be precautionary in this part. Yes, right now in your luggage, pack everything you want to pack. The trip that you are leaving your hotel to go to Mina, your Hajj days, don't overthink. It's simple. People will be there to help you out if you really need something, but know yourself. So it's mustahab to pray Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, and Isha of the 8th day. So day 1, so I have categorized as day 1 is the first day of Hajj. From the Islamic calendar, it's the 8th day of Dhul Hijjah. Now, please, people, in next few days, we'll find out whenever the Dhul Hijjah is. I really don't care which calendar you follow. Local sighting, global sighting, calculation, none of that matters. You're going there, you follow the Ummah when you go there. Okay, leave all those technicalities on the side. And if you can, then I'm sorry, your whole Hajj will be messed up. Because you will be alone by yourself. Don't cut corners. Try to get to Mina. Yes, if there is a situation where you cannot travel, sick, or may Allah save and protect everyone, that's why. Try to stay healthy. Try to protect yourself as much as you can. Then, yes, people might just take you straight to Arafah and skip this day. But that's in a very, very extreme condition. Other than that, inshallah, let's plan to go. This is the reason that we came out for. That's why, if you are thinking of second Umrah, I'm sorry, don't do it. I'm just making that point clear. You mentioned that, and you're Naveed's wife, so I don't know. He might tell you, let's go another Umrah. He does things like that. So no, Naveed, please don't let your wife do the second Umrah. Day 2. So what do we do on this day, in the first day of Hajj in Mina? Nothing. You pray your salah. There'll be a lot of lectures, talks, listen to it. Don't go above and beyond in doing anything. You're not doing any pelting. You're not just resting. It will be very, very uncomfortable. So your bedding or your place, you see the table that you have in front of you? That's the size of bed you have. Or even as far as the width, probably even smaller, but a little bit longer. It's about 6 foot 2 inches. So if you're more than that, I'm sorry, your foot will stick up. But that's your bedding, and it folds into a sofa and turns into a room like this. A room like this will be probably maybe a little bit bigger, or maybe sometimes its tent will be at this size. There'll be one center cooler, no AC, cooler in the middle, and everyone's here. This room, the tent room, will be designed exactly, precisely, and how many those beddings will fit in. So don't think, oh, I see some space here, I'll get a bigger space. At the end, they will fit in exactly that many people. Brothers tent, sisters tent. So if you take a big suitcase the size of that box, that goes on your bed when you're sleeping. So just remember that. So your backpack, a small suitcase that can maybe, you'll adjust it, but everyone will fit in because they will have maxed out every single person, every single tent. So when you are laying down, when it's time to rest, when there's no program, nothing, instead of just talking and I just want to walk around, see what it is, this is not the time. Just relax. Even if you cannot sleep, just put your head down and just relax, do tasbih, and just relax. Because the more anxious, so psychologically, the more anxious you get, oh my God, so hot, where am I going to get water? What's happening to my husband? Don't worry about your husband. He's fine. Even if he's not fine, who cares? Just take care of yourself. The more you think, the more you're going to sweat, the more anxious you're going to get. And you will get sick. Sometimes it's not just physical conditions, it's your psychological conditions that can make a person sick. If you cannot go to sleep because you need your bedding and your everything, that's fine. Just try to lay down, close your eyes, think of nothing, do dhikr, rest. Rest, rest, rest. This is the day of rest. Next day we go to Arafah. Now, Mina is very big camp, and some people, the locals, they don't come to Mina because they do the third part of Hajj, which is Ifrad, right? So, or maybe if they're sick people, but Arafah, everyone comes to Arafah. What's the hadith of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? Al-Hajju Arafah. Hajj is actually Arafah. And this is where Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said Shaitan was crying, he was throwing dirt on his face, on his back, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive every single sin. SubhanAllah. So this is the moment. The moment we come to Arafah, we just make dua. We just make dua. Now, recently in 2019 when I went, but 2010, there was no Wi-Fi, there is no AC, it's just hot. If you find a shade under the tree, you just sit, stand, and if you get tired, you just lay down, take a nap. Now, especially some of the VIP packages that people have bought, you will find very like air conditioned. There'll be barbecue going on there. There'll be Wi-Fi section. That's fine. They just want to help you out, but don't fall into the trap of Wi-Fi. I'm going to warn you this, especially on Yawm al-Arafah. Who cares about your family, your kids, your wife, and whoever, your friends, ISB Live, who's coming? That's not. You didn't go there for that. Maybe when you were in Makkah, when you're in Medina, you're checking, you're taking selfies and whatnot. But this time, your cell phone, if it's on, either because you have downloaded some du'as in it, or your Quran, or just du'as. Rest and dua. Every single dua is accepted. So I know some of you are collecting the list. Take names of people. If you have done something, Ya Allah, please forgive me. Everything, dua and rest. Wi-Fi will be there. Then it's sad to see that people in Arafah, in Yawm al-Arafah, just because they paid premium pricing, their Wi-Fi, they're sitting and video chatting or texting, updating their Instagram pages and watching YouTube videos. It's very, very sad. Very, very sad. Yeah, if you're hungry, they'll have some good food. There will be drinks throughout, juice and the tea, everything you name it. They will all be there, that only for those few hours. Now, they will usually leave on the 9th day after Fajr. People will start leaving to go to Arafah. It's about 7 miles or even less, depending on which route you take, 5 miles to 5 to 7 miles. What happens is, since everyone's going, majority of the people, when I say not American, the majority of the world, they choose not to take a bus. They will walk. Most, if not all, of our groups will take us in a bus. Because now this is 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. It gets hot right away. By 9 o'clock, it's burning hot. I won't recommend anyone walking, even though as tempting as it may look. When you go to Arafah, you're just going to sit there. You're going to sit there all the way till Maghrib. And I promise you, you will get there before Maghrib. Wuquf is even for 5-10 minutes. The moment you enter in the land of Arafah, the boundary that Prophet ﷺ established, your Hajj is accepted. Don't rush through. But if someone knows, I know my ways in and out. If I really have to, I might go. But don't follow me. But I'm not planning to do that. I'm not planning to do that, especially knowing the condition. Because there's no rush. If you're hungry, they'll have some food, some drinks, everything in your bus. And that bus will go slower than the snail. It will go very slow. Because all the pathways that goes to Arafah is packed with people. And the bus is there. So this driver is honking the whole time. But one good thing is, in the bus, it's AC. And water is there. So you just say your talbiyah, you're just making your du'as. You will enter in Arafah, but they will not stop you right there, because most of our groups, there's a designated spot in Arafah. Right? So we are with Haji Abdul Latif? No. What group are we in? Al-Buruj. A Buruj group, they may have a tent somewhere in the middle or the end of Arafat. So this bus will take us all the way there. The start of Arafat till there is probably a 3-minute drive. It will take us 3 hours. Just stay quiet. Have sabr. Just wait, because that's a safer place, because that's where we're going to leave again in the night. Few hours, so don't rush through. This is what I'm saying. Have a lot of sabr. We get to Arafat, make lots of dua. We'll combine Dhuhr and Asr Salah. Two main things that people try to rush to, right? There's a masjid called Masjid al-Namira, right? It's the masjid in Arafat where Prophet ﷺ combined two prayers. The king appoints a leader or an imam to lead the salah there. There's a khutbah the khutbah of Hajj. The only khutbah of Hajj. So the khutbahs are either on Jummah or Eidain. On Hajj day, on the 9th day of Arafah. Naveed, can you quickly check what day is coming? Is that Friday? If it's a Friday, then yes, there will be a Friday khutbah. But Hajj khutbah will be given when Dhuhr and Asr is combined. The sheikh, whoever. Yeah. What? Saturday or Sunday. Okay. So we will have khutbah. Every tent throughout Arafat, they will live stream or the audio, you could hear it everywhere. So some people try to go to that masjid to pray in the masjid. The masjid is very big, but not big enough to accommodate Hujjaj. It probably could take 500 or 300,000 people. Imagine that big of a masjid. Only used for one day in a year. Everyone, those who want to pray inside the masjid, they need to leave at 9 o'clock in the morning. And then they get stuck, and by the time they come back. So again, I don't recommend that. I know people who have done it. I have never done it because I never tried that. That's one thing. Other thing that people do on the other side of Arafah is the Jabal Rahmah, the Mount of Arafah. Prophet stood up there and gave the khutbah. The whole mountain is like white. Mostly brothers. There are also a lot of sisters. They climb that mountain, and they want to stay there and to make dua. There's no significance of making dua in the Mount of Arafah or in the masjid. Anywhere in the boundary of Arafah, your duas are accepted. So many casualties that has happened there. Because you try to climb the mountain, you're not going to find the spot. Even in this heat, you'll see people around the world, they will just cover the mountain, they'll just stay there. Muzdalifah, another place. You spend the night there. When you get there, you pray Maghrib and Isha together. Maghrib and Isha in Muzdalifah. Now, it's probably 10-minute drive. It might take you 5 hours. You leave at Maghrib, you might get there 11 o'clock at night. 1 o'clock at night. Do not, especially at night now, what happens is it might get cold. And if you're walking or if you come out of your bus, thousands of buses, they all have the blowing AC running inside, so they're running their buses, even though some are going very slow, others are just parked, but a lot of dust and the smoke comes out of these buses. So if you're walking outside, you might get sick again. There's another reason where people get sick. Just be extra mindful when we go there to Muzdalifah. Pick up the pebble is mustahab. The easy way is not the glass, but if you have water bottles, which are thousands of water bottles everywhere, if someone's not feeling well, then they can go to Mina at this point, at night. But it's best to stay all the way till Fajr time. Best to leave at Fajr time. So that is, yes. So depending on depending on the groups, right? Our group have a spot in Muzdalifah, right? So it's a tented, carpeted place. Last year, Al-Buruj, they also gave sleeping bag and a blanket. No promises. I know we were talking about this. If you want to check with your, good thing is to just ask them now. If they say, no, you have to come up with your own provision, just taking a sleeping bag might be a good idea. Because you might think, oh, I can just stay up all night. But no, don't do that. Because next day is a very long day, the 10th. Because right now, make sure that you have some sleeping arrangements. Not a big bedding, a very light. If they're providing you with carpet and a pillow, then maybe a small sheet to just cover yourself. Right? It's only a matter of a few hours. In Muzdalifah night, I'm letting everyone know, if you can get minimum of 2 hours of rest, I promise you that's good enough to get you. But if you had few hours and you just decide to be on the phone or just walking around, I want to see the whole Muzdalifah, see the whole Ummah that I will never get a chance, which is true. You'll never get a chance to see that again. For that, if you did not sleep, you're going to regret the next day. You will, hit your bottom, rock bottom, and you will not be able to perform many things. So just be mindful of Muzdalifah, rest a little bit as much as you can. Get some rest in Arafah during the daytime, Muzdalifah at nighttime. Check with your travel group if they have sleeping bag arrangements. Usually what they do is they tell you, this is what I have done multiple times with my Hajj, especially if you have the VIP Hajj packages. In Arafah, they have a tent and a carpet. They have a small sleeping bag, like a bedding, whatever, the Saudi bedding. So there's a blanket and a pillow. It's a brand new, but it's not the highest of the quality, but who cares? It's a blanket and a pillow, right? You're in your ihram anyways. So they tell you, take that with you to Muzdalifah. So you're not carrying anything from all the way all around. You only need that. Those are only 2 nights. You carry that to your Muzdalifah, and then you use the pillow and the blanket just to rest, and you leave it there. Khalas. So if our group provides that, well and good. Other people, what they do, they definitely provide blanket and pillow in Mina on the 8th day. Right? When they leave for Arafah, they say just take that with you. So you take your blanket and your pillow, you go to Arafah the next day, you rest there, you take that again, Muzdalifah, then you leave it there. So these are some of the things you just have to be, the reason is, taking a sleeping bag, the whole journey can be tedious and tiring, and most importantly, you will lose it. Because you might just walk around so many places, so long, stay at every stop, you might lose it, and then you might not even have it at all. So just have all the options available. Yes? Don't take big rocks. Pebbles. It's in my slides too. Like a like a chickpea size, or something that is about within an inch or less, but not a small, very small, but at least the size of a pea size, right? Thank you so much. Very kind of you, brother. I think it's 12 o'clock. We have another hour. Let me quickly finish Muzdalifah, then answer that question. We could take maybe a 2-3 minute break or ask questions. I'm pretty sure there's some more questions online. And then I'll do the day of Nahar, meaning the Eid day, the 10th of Dhul Hijjah, where it's a very difficult day, 10, 11, 12. And then we'll open the questions, inshallah. So please, let me finish Muzdalifah. You spend the night in Muzdalifah, then you get ready to go. You pray Fajr. After Fajr, you leave. From Muzdalifah to Mina, or Muzdalifah to, again, Mina is very big. Muzdalifah to Jamarat, it's about 40-minute walk. It's very good. It's easy. That walk in the morning, especially if you have the rest, it's a brisk walk because it's the morning hours. You got some energy. You got some breakfast. There'll be some tea like this. By the way, like how Brother Sharif just got me tea, everyone becomes very generous and accommodating, and you should be. If you have some energy, just pass around some zamzam if you have some juice that you picked up from Arafah, pass it around. Be nice, inshallah. You will see almost everyone doing that. Then you go to Mina. Now, some people, they say, you know what, I had no sleep in Arafah or in Muzdalifah, I'm exhausted, I will go to my tent. That's fine. This is where people disperse. They say, I'll just go to my tent and rest. I just need rest. I cannot do this. Okay. Everyone's different. Everyone's body is telling you, then listen to your body. Go to because your tent and your bedding, that small bedding I talked about, or that bedding, or the sofa bedding, is there for you. So you go there. More than likely, not many people will be there, but there will be some people there, almost in every tent. You could go to Mina and rest in your tent, or you could just go straight in the morning because it'll be a lot of crowd, but it's nice weather. It's Fajr time. Ishraq time, you go and pelt there. So this is what's going to lead us to the 3rd day of Hajj, which is the 10th of Dhul Hijjah, inshallah. We'll just pause here. Let me drink some tea, get a cookie, and please, let's see if there's any questions. Just get them all ready. Give me 10 seconds, inshallah. Sisters, please help yourself with tea and cookie. And I believe there's some orange juice. Yeah, there's orange juice there as well. talbiya. You're going to be screaming a lot of talbiya. To have that, the smoke and everything. Good to have cough drops. Mask. I'll do everyone. There's no sugar. We can rub. And one, two, three should be perform. Change it. All right. Bismillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulullah. Let's continue. Um, there's a. So let's see any questions. Something about Jamarat. Forgot. Some people use spray bottles to make their wudu in the haram. In the haram, is that? So there's a question about making wudu. So nothing about in Hajj or not. So wudu in general, whether if you're using a spray bottle or water bottle or making wudu in the bathroom, ghasal or ghasala means that water should drip, right? So even though if you go to ISB in the first floor, there are wudu, the wudu station, there's a foot washers. The mist comes out pretty much like a spray. There's enough mist that will make the water drip from your limb, right? From your foot, for example. That will consider as washing. So, so if I hope that answers the question. There's a question saying, I'm short. I'm afraid I'll get rained by the stones people are throwing. SubhanAllah. It doesn't matter if you're short or not short. The brothers are at a loss during pelting. So what happens is, because we have no hair by this time, majority, if not all, are bald because they have already done Umrah. And I think maybe I'll come to that. So what happens when someone misses their pelting, and especially if they're trying to throw it from very far, that misses, it comes and hits you, it hurts. Sisters, mashallah, they have hijab and, they have their hair, so they don't have that issue. But brothers, you get hurt. So just know your angle, that which way you're standing, and just also look out and quickly pelt and leave. Don't try to see like, I'm going to look what's happening inside, because you will get hit. No, yeah, that was many years ago. Even with the floors, there's I think 4 or 6 floors. Still, you'll get hit. And I'll tell you some incidents, inshallah. Let me see my time. Oh, wow. All right, we ready? 10th day of Dhul Hijjah. What are people doing around the world on this day? Eid. The Yawm al-Eid is a big day. Yawm al-Nahar, also known as Yawm al-Nahar, the day of sacrifice. For Hujjaj, for majority of Hujjaj, this is the most difficult day. Difficult or long day, long day. Because we already, sleep deprived, tired, and did all that exertion of Arafah and Muzdalifah. Fajr time, early in the morning now. This is what I do. Majority of people do the same thing. We try to do all 3 things or 4 things at the same time. If you're lucky, you are done by 10 o'clock. Then you rest. What are those 4 things? You have to go pelt the big shaitan. So when you walk in Jamarat from Muzdalifah, so you're coming from a direction that it will take you, that you will pass the first Jamarat. Sughra, the small. Then Wusta, the middle one. You pass the second one too. Then you go to the third one, the big one. Third one is the big one. So if someone wants to see how it looks like, you look at the first one and second one, because no one's there. And don't throw there, it doesn't count. You go on the big one, and then as you approach, so it's like a diagonal, not diagonal, what is it? It's like a oval shape. What do you call it? Pillar. And there's a retaining wall or like a wall all around it, right? Since everyone's walking in one direction, you find that, you find that the first end, the beginning portion of the third Jamarat is packed with people. So the smarter approach is not going and just getting stuck there, rather just walking a little bit around, and you go on the other side of that oval shape wall where the Jamarat is. There's hardly anyone there. Because once they throw their 7 petals, they're leaving. So you just walk around, be a little bit smart, walk around. And it's okay, there's no rush. And it's just that if you're with someone, just tell them the same thing. People usually go right in front. So just walk around slowly, then you could pelt 7 times, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. And you pelt it with your, the sunnah way is, you pelt with your shoulders, over your shoulder, not underarm, but overarm. And shoulder, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you don't have to do backward, front. If someone takes a handful of pebbles, all 7 of them throw at the same time, it only counts as 1. So the 1 throw. There was once there was an Afghani brother. The Afghanis and the Pathans are. So he was very emotionally disturbed. He's like, I'm going to shaitan. So he goes like, he's thinking like, there's no shaitan. There's no shaitan stuck there that you are hitting. It's resemblance in the teachings of the Prophet ﷺ, right? It's metaphorically that you are throwing stones because the Prophet ﷺ did that. This guy takes out his chappal, his shoes. He's like, then he says, Terimaki, meaning, and then he goes and throws and charging. And you will see people throwing their umbrellas and whatnot and get stuck there. Please, none of that counts. It's actually, you're causing harm for the Muslims or the workers there. Then they have to clean that up. So only pebbles. And, if your aim is not good, don't throw it from far. Just go closer, because if you miss and people miss, it hits someone. And it's not funny. And don't try to act like you walk away. Go, if that happened, go apologize or give that person. So don't do that. Come closer. And it doesn't have to hit the wall. It's they obviously kept that in mind, and so there's a lot of space. As long as it goes over that retaining wall, it's completed, inshallah. It doesn't matter if you're short or tall, you will get hit. So just don't be in that position, inshallah. On the 10th day of Dhul Hijjah, pelting, sacrifice, right? Sacrifice and then halaq. So these 3 needs to be done in order, especially according to the Hanafi school of thought. It's wajib to have this. The Shafi and Maliki, it's strongly recommended for this tartib. It's called tartib, the sequence to be followed, right? So it's easy. Many people, as I said, go to Jamarat and they throw they do the pelting on the big shaitan. the rite from Muzdalifah. The question comes is the animal sacrificing. So if your group is doing it, then you just have to wait for them. They may have batches. So for example, Al Buruj, we have like I think 300 people. They may do batch of 50 each. They could say, oh, this batch of 50 people, your sacrifice is done. Then there's this third batch, they'll give you the names. People have different ways. They can say, all our group is done. So alhamdulillah, the moment they tell you, because after you do pelting, one or two things you could do. Listen to this very carefully, especially in the summer this year. This is my advice or my prediction. Many people in the back, after they do pelting, they go back to their tents in Mina. Right? And then they wait for the news that the sacrifice happened. Or some people, if they're strong enough and they have time, they go and do their sacrifice themselves, and then they take out their hair. But majority of people, they just wait in their Mina. They hear the sacrifice done, then they take out the ihram. So sacrifice done, then they shave their head or trim whatever, and they are done with the Hajj. They can take shower in Mina and change their clothes. For those, how many of you have non-shifting package? Non-shifting. Non-shifting means in Makkah, when you had your hotel where all your luggage, your big luggage and everything is there, that's still there in Makkah hotel. The hotel has been reserved for you the whole time. And no one is entering in your room. This is on the 10th day after you pelted shaitan, because you're already at the last end of Mina, close to Makkah. If taxi is available, if not, you could walk. It's about 40-minute walk. Or if it's there'll be also guys with a motorcycle if you just want to sit on the motorcycle, but just remember you're in the state of ihram. So just think of that. It will be very difficult for you to sit unless you sit sideways. But trust me, people have done it. Whatever it takes, because they just want to go to the hotel. You could do that. But those are the two options. But whenever you hear that your sacrifice is done, you could come out of the state of ihram. So those are the three things that you could do on that day, but they has to be in order. Yes, sir. Oh, they will do sacrifice before? No, of course. We already purchased our sacrifice. So yeah. So they will. I mean, they're not going to sacrifice on the 9th day. They'll sacrifice on the 10th. There's a masbah. There's a huge place. There's a huge slaughterhouse. It's only done on that day for the Hajjaj. So they will sacrifice. So if you are non-shifting, which I think you are non-shifting, right? So best approach for you would be you do pelting. So you and your wife, you guys start walking towards your hotel. You get your message, hey, your sacrifice is done, khalas. You go there, shave your head, take shower. If you want to rest, you can rest, or you could go do, if it's still morning hours, do your tawaf. You are done. If that is it, that's the best thing. That's the best case scenario, especially for non-shifting people. Other scenario? No. That is the most important tawaf. That's a tawaf of Hajj. Two names, Tawaf al-Ifada. It also called Tawaf al-Ziyara. I'll come to that. It's mentioned there, number 4. That tawaf, the one you mentioned, mashallah, good question, brother. That tawaf is a tawaf of Hajj. You could do on the 10th day of Dhul Hijjah, the 3rd day, 11th or 12th. Remember that. So don't push yourself. So Lutfi, with your example, you're non-shifting. You and your wife decide, okay, you know what, let's just quickly pelt the shaitan and either walk or take a taxi. They'll charge you big, but you're like, you know what, we're ready to pay $50, which it could be $10 right. I'll pay 5 times more. I'll get to my hotel because I'm just waiting for my sacrifice. Most likely it'll be done in an hour. So I take my ihram out. I could just rest, take shower, eat, and just want to sleep because now you're in your hotel. That hotel is the most luxurious hotel at that point. Doesn't matter which hotel it is because that sleep is really needed. Now you could see the screen on the TV. If your hotel with the haram view, you could see it's packed. The whole 4 million people are trying to do tawaf in those 3 days. Most likely, again, with my experience, I'm thinking after 11 o'clock, it'll be empty. Again, gauge yourself, your situation, your umbrella, your whatever gears you have. Especially if you're non-shifting, your hotel, you rested well. Then if you want to quickly go do your tawaf, then tawaf ziyarah, tawaf al-ifada with sa'i. Tawaf and sa'i together. Then you could do that because you already came out of your haram. But remember, going back to the big picture where Naveed was next to me, when you're in your comfortable clothing, you don't get to go in the tawaf, in the mataf area. You don't go on the ground floor. You have to go on the top floor. Now, one thing you could do, I'm just finishing one possibility with Lutfi. You go to your hotel, you come out, you rest, 12, 1 o'clock, you realize not that much rush. That's what it looks like in the mataf area, but it'll be rush in the second and third floor. Get it? Still, you know what? We got energy. Let's do it. You have to do it in the next 3 days. Tawaf and Sa'i. You say, I'll do the tawaf. It took me 3 hours to do tawaf. That's okay. I have my hotel right in front of me. Do tawaf, I'll go rest again, eat, whatever. In the night, I can come and do the Sa'i. It doesn't have to be back to back. You can separate, but it has to be done in those 3 days. You get my point? So that's one. I'm just giving you possibilities. Gauge. You cannot make a very concrete decision right now. You have that planning, and once you get there, you can decide as you want. You really don't need a leader because your group leader, all of our group leaders, they will probably have 100, 120, or 300 people. Maybe there are 3 people for 300 people. Most likely, if you know how it's done, you could do it maybe with a small group, maybe a couple, maybe 3, 4 people together. And it's much more convenient, especially if you're ready to pay $50 to a taxi driver to take you and your spouse, for example, to your hotel. You have your keys, you have your access card, everything. You go in. It's faster. So you could rest and you could do what you need to do. So these are the things. If you're going to stay with your group, it's going to take hours and hours and hours. And again, by the time, because after the jamara, after the pelting on this day, on the 10th day, everyone's mind is to go do tawaf and get it done with. So half an hour delay means rush is packed. I mean, like, it's going to get packed and packed and packed. So the sooner, the better. But at the condition your health, your body is able to do it. But if you're not, then go rest. You could do it at the nighttime, the 10th day, this night. It gets very packed the first night because many people are rested and they want to come back. Next day morning is packed. Next day afternoon. The 12th day is probably a little bit less. But by this time, for example, if Lutfi did tawaf, and tawaf al-ziyarah, tawaf al-ifada, and he's done with his hajj, he's just now resting in Makkah. He's just resting in Makkah. He goes to Mina, do Jamarat, and he comes back because he has his hotel in Makkah. But guess what? He is now praying Salah in Makkah for all his Salah. He's just coming down and just doing extra nafil tawaf. He's done. So people like him are also crowding up the haram. You get my point? So if you come on the 11th or 12th, the 3 days you will still find it's packed. But you have to do Tawaf al-Ziyarah, which is Tawaf al-Ifada, in those 3 days. Going back to the 10th day, you're doing the pelting of big shaitan, just remember that. And after that, you wait for your sacrifice and you come out of the state of ihram. Now, non-shifting, like for example, give another example of Naveed. So he does not have a hotel. His hotel will be given to him after the Hajj 13th if he has a Makkah stay. If they are non-shifting people, if they have Medina stay, they will take them to Medina. So either you will have your tent in Mina, or they may have building. They call it Aziziyah. They may have building that you can go rest, take showers, or whatever it may be. So you guys have to also, those who are doing that package, you have to remember that after you do pelting, best to do is not get into, if you're able to go do tawaf right away, go straight in Makkah with your clothing, with your ihram, even though sacrifice is done. Just because your sacrifice is done doesn't mean that you have to shave your head and come out of ihram. I mean, it's done, but you're not out of ihram until you shave your head. So you're still in ihram, but guess what? You had that time to go to Makkah. Be smart. Go to Makkah and quickly do your tawaf. But now in that tawaf, where you're wearing ihram and you have sa'i, what are you going to do? For brothers. Idul Tiba and Ramal. Do you get it? For those brothers who are doing tawaf. Now, Lutfi's example, His animal is sacrificed, he goes in hotel, he changes his clothes, he comes out of state of ihram. Now, number one, he will never get a chance to go in the mataf area to begin with, but he's not wearing ihram, so he's not doing Eid al-Tiba. I've also seen brothers with their thobe on, they take their hand out. It doesn't count. You don't do Eid al-Tiba, and there's no running also, right? Safa Marwa, yes, you do the running. Does that make sense, the two examples? Any questions? Yes. Yes, I'm going to come to that, yes. Ramy, there are different timings. To be honest, right now with the heat index, it's whatever is fitting. Because those who are in Kabsh, how many of you in Kabsh camps? I know some of the sisters on the who are watching live. They are, but Al Kabsh camps. Are you one? So you're right next to Jamarat. You're right next to Jamarat, mashallah. So you can follow the sunnah to do the pelting, from dawn to sunrise, meaning the Fajr time. You won't be able to make it. If you're going to pray Fajr in Muzdalifah, come there, you're going to miss that time. It's a very short time. But it's sunnah to do from sunrise, right after sunrise till Zawal, meaning the Dhuhr time. And after at night, delaying your Ramy on the 10th day all the way after Maghrib is makruh. No one will do. Many people won't do it. If for some reason, whether your family member or someone in your group got hurt or they're sick, they're not able to do Ramy, then you can do on their behalf. Someone can say, like, you know what, okay, give me your stones, or I'll have extra stones, I'll do your Ramy. So at that point, you throw yours first, then you make niyyah of somebody else, so you're the person that you are doing the Ramy, and then you throw them, inshallah. Are we good? Nahar, which is sacrifice, I already talked about this. And then halaq and shaving, same thing that we already went to. The Tawaf al-Ziyara, also known as Tawaf al-Ifada, timings is on your question, 10th. From the dawn, meaning from Fajr time of 10th all the way till sunset of 12th, Maghrib. If someone, this is important, if someone misses this, then they have to give dam. Except for sisters, if they're not praying, then they have to wait till they are in the state of purity, and then they have to do Tawaful Ifada, which is also known as Tawaful Ziyara, and there's no dam because that is not, was up to them. But if a brother or a sister, they had the ability to do Tawaful Ziyara, also known as Tawaful Ifada, in those 3 days, 10th, 11th, and 12th. They delayed it. They have to give them. Tawaf is followed by Sa'i. Please remember that. This is the Tawaf, even though some brothers may not wear the Ihram because they are done with the Ihram, you still have to do Tawaf and Sa'i. And Eid al-Tiba and Ramal, that's second last point, is only if you're in the state of Ihram. Good? Tawaf Ziyara, we already mentioned all of this. You can return back to Mina if you want to rest in Mina, or you could go to your hotel. 11th day, 11th and 12th, nothing special in Mina, except that you're sitting, obviously if you're resting in Mina, you can rest in Mina. You have to do Jamarat of all 3 shayateen, right? The Sughra first, then Wusta, and then Kubra. Small, medium, and large. You go in order, you pelt all of them. And then, again, you could just rest in your camp. All the camps are fully equipped with everything you need. If you want to go to your hotel, change, rest, and come back. Spending night in Mina on the 10th night and 11th night is mustahab, is strongly desirable, right? So it's a sunnah. So you come back and you rest. You can quickly freshen up, eat everything you want. You can come back, return to the Mina camp. Same thing on 12th. Now, 13th day of Dhul Hijjah is important. Now, on the 12th, you can stay, but on the 12th, meaning the 13th day will start at Maghrib. If you stay till Maghrib, then you have to pelt on 13th day. So if you're leaving Mina on the 12th, you stay there on 10th, 11th, 12th. Before Maghrib, if you leave Mina, before Maghrib on 12th, which is the 3rd day of Mina, right? Which is the 5th day of Hajj. If you leave Mina, then you don't pelt the next day. Does that make sense? If you stayed in Mina on the 12th, majority of people leave. I stayed once and I was probably the only person, very few people, but it was nice. I was like, away from the people with my group people. Like, all right, I'm staying. Anyone wants to stay with me? Like, no, Sheikh, you stay alone. I'm like, good. I stayed alone. The whole tent to myself. Nice sleeping nicely. Got up and went there. Next day, 13 pelted. From there, I walked to my hotel. And of course, when you're alone, you could do all those things. But if you have a family, it might be a little bit difficult. Return to Mecca. You pray your salah. And again, for those who are in Medina first, you spend your next few days and nights in Mecca. At this point, I'm looking at you, Sumaira, but at this point, if you are in Mecca and if you want to do Umrah, now Hajj has done everything, you can do Umrah. Now, you could do Umrah before, but now I can recommend, or even if you get sick at this point, it's okay. Next few days, you're going home anyways, or you're going to Medina. So you could go after 12th. After 12th, if you want to do Umrah, you just go to Masjid Aisha, you come back and you do your Umrah. Good, that's it. That was it. That's all Hajj. So before I quickly ask for some question and answers, I will go a very quick overview. You all have this presentation. I think it is. How do I do this? No. So 9 quick steps. Number 1, we should all memorize this, right? Ihram, we come in the state of Ihram for Hajj. Step 2, just putting your ihram, doing step 1, meaning putting your ihram, pray your 2 rakat salah, make the intention of Hajj. For the intention of Hajj, it's going to be in your own language. Just remember, you make intention, oh Allah, I'm making Hajj for your pleasure. I'm doing the Hajj tamattu, which majority of doing. If you're doing Quran, Dr. Saab, you say, I'm making the intention of Quran. Then from there, you go to Mina. This is what day of Hajj? This is the 8th day of Dhul Hijjah, right? 8th day of Hijjah, you go in Mina. You, at glance, you proceed to Mina, engage in reflection and recitation, pray Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha, and the Fajr of the next day, which is the 9th day of the Hijjah, 2nd day. You pray Fajr in Mina, and now after Fajr, we leave to Arafah. We pray Dhuhr and Asr combine, engage in supplication all the way till sunset. Wuquf is the Hajj, the most important thing. You will also see, for those people, elders or someone got sick, injured, so the Saudi government will bring them in the helicopters. They'll bring them in Arafah for a few minutes and they'll take them back. They'll bring another batch of people to take them back because Hajj is not accepted if you don't go in Arafah. Everything else, there can be penalties. Small penalties is dam that we talked about, right? If someone misses Tawaful Ziyarah, right, the Ifada, the main Tawaf in those 3 days, if they missed it for whatever reason, then the penalty is called badana. Badana is big sacrifice, which is sacrifice of camel, about $700. The sacrifice, the dam, is a small sacrifice where if you, let's say, you clip your nails or something, then it's $150 sacrifice, meaning you have to sacrifice a sheep. But if you miss the rukn, which is Tawaf al-Ziyarah, only one is Tawaf al-Ziyarah, if you can miss, your Hajj will be completed only if you do badana, the sacrifice of a camel. If you miss Arafah, Hajj is not even counted. You cannot give anything. That's what I'm trying to do. That's how important Arafah is. Proceed to Muzdalifah after sunset without praying Maghrib, because we pray Maghrib in Muzdalifah, which is when we go to Muzdalifah, we pray Maghrib and Isha together, collect pebbles, spend the night there, perform Fajr, and after Fajr, we leave towards Mina for pelting the big shaitan. We get to Mina, the 5th step. You pelt the shaitan. MashaAllah, it looks so nice here. It's nothing like that. So you pelt the shaitan there, and then still the same day you sacrifice the animal, or someone does it for you. Then you shave your hair, and then you come out of the state of Ihram. After this, the next step is the pilgrimage, meaning the tawaf of Hajj, also known as Tawaf al-Ziyarah and Tawaf al-Ifada. You go to Kaaba, you make the Tawaf of Hajj with Sa'i, and then you return back to Mina. Concluding the days of pelting, which is the 11th and 12th. You stay in Mina, pelt all 3 shaitan, and then you remain on the 11th day of the Hijjah and the 12th day of the Hijjah. Last thing I want to say, then we'll open mashallah, we are good with time, mashallah, very good. Usually it takes about 4 hours to do this presentation, mashallah. In an hour and a half, we're almost done. Because I was going very fast, and alhamdulillah, everyone has done this. Last thing you do in Makkah before you leave is the farewell tawaf, Tawaf al-Wada', right? So few technical Tawaf al-Wada' is, as you know, you obviously, this is a very emotional connection. We pray salah towards Kaaba. Our whole life, ever since we became Muslim, ever since we started praying, our connection to Baytullah was immense. So now you're leaving that. Remember when Prophet ﷺ was forced to leave Mecca to migrate to Medina, he was so sad. You know, he took a side route to go to Medina because of the enemies were behind him. But finally, when he got to the main highway, then he looked back, he was crying. And he was saying, "Oh, city of Medina, I love you so much. I would never leave you if it wasn't for my people who chased me out of this," right? So our cry, our departure from Mecca is the same way. Oh Allah, I'm leaving this beautiful city of Mecca and the Kaaba, which is the Qibla for the Muslims around the world. The first, Inna awwal al-bayt wudi'a lin-nas, the first house that was built for people to pray was for Makkah Mukarramah. So it's a very emotional detachment tawaf. You only do tawaf and there's no sa'i. Now, the only tricky part is for those who went to Medina first. I know some of you who's going Medina first. Yeah, when you guys go to Medina first, most likely your flight leaving Mecca or Jeddah is either on the 12th or 13th of Dhul Hijjah. They'll get you out right away, 13th or 14th. They will not keep you staying there because obviously there's a lot of accommodations and moving pieces. People are coming in, people are leaving out. You have to do Tawaf al-Wada'. Now it gets technical. So you have done, in your example, that's why keep this in mind. You want to do Tawaf al-Ziyarah and Tawaf al-Ifada on the 10th day of Dhul Hijjah. You get it done with. Your Hajj is done. If you have energy, then do another Tawaf right away. And with the intention of Tawaf al-Wada'. For everyone, if you have time to do Tawaf al-Wada' after you're done with Tawaf al-Ziyarah, on the 10th, 11th, or 12th. If you have more time, if you're staying Makkah for longer, then yes, if you have time. But try to get done as early as possible. Don't think where historically, the last thing you should do, even when you go for Umrah, we try to do Tawaf al-Wada' and then we leave. But during Hajj time, it gets very, very difficult. Because logistically, if you miss your flight or your bus to the airport, it's close to impossible for you to catch your flight. Or even the next day. You are stuck there for days. Because there is no flight that is empty. And you are paying premium pricing, let alone your schedule and your business and your family. So, Tawaf al-Wada' is an act that you have to do. But if you have time, earlier, just make an intention and do it. Later on, if you get another time to do tawaf, then make another intention for Tawaf al-Wada'. Whichever is your last tawaf, that will consider as your Tawaf al-Wada'. Does that make sense? Now, let's say in Lutfi's example, in Brother Lutfi's example, he was not able to do Tawaf al-Ziyarah or Tawaf al-Ifada, the Hajj Tawaf, on the 10th day of Dhul Hijjah. Remember earlier I mentioned the 10th day? 11th and 12th. For whatever reason, he's like, oh my God, I have to do it on 12th because if not, my Hajj will not be accepted or I have to give the big penalty. At the same time, on 13th morning is his flight. When you have absolutely no option, only at that point you could combine, meaning you could have the niyyah of Tawaf al-Wada', farewell Tawaf, and Tawaf al-Ziyarah at the same time. Does that make sense? So you do a Tawaf with the intention of your doing, but Allah accept my Wada' in this as well, because practically I'm not able to do both. Because whatever reason, health conditions and stuff like that. Very severe case, but nevertheless, an option I want to leave people with. Does that make sense? But Tawaf al-Wada' is a farewell Tawaf. It's something that we should do. In a best case scenario, you have done your Tawaf al-Ziyarah, Tawaf al-Ifada on the 10th. Try to do on the 10th. And then either on the 11th or 12th, depending on whenever your flight is, or leaving Makkah, a day before that, do your Tawaf. A day before that, not hours before that. A day before that, do it, and then khalas. This tawaf does not have sa'i, this tawaf does not have iltiba, it does not require you to wear ihram and all that. Does that make sense? According to some of the ulama, yes. It is dumb. Yeah, it is not. So it's not. Now, a few other technical things. Tawaf. This is now not fiqh. This is tips and tricks. Astaghfirullah, I shouldn't say tricks. You're not tricking anyone, but sometimes you just need to know how to move around, at least depending on people's condition, health condition, physical condition, and so on and so forth. Now, sisters, you all have the best option. As long as you are mindful of your time, you can go in the mataf area. Let me open the mataf area. Mataf that we spoke about earlier. You could go into the mataf area and any time, because no one's checking that. At least the last I heard, no one's checking that, right? Where is it? So in the mataf area, which is right in the Kaaba, you could go because they don't check. They have not been checking. Although they say there's a timing with the Nusuk app for Tawaf, but Umrah they have not been checking lately. Most likely they will not check in Hajj because it's too much work for them. For brothers, they will not let the brothers enter until you have ihram on, right? So sisters can just go in. Now, if Sister Fatima gets in, then she wants Sharif to be there, then Sharif needs to put this ihram on, put this clothing on. Now, you can either put it on out of respect of this clothing, because subhanAllah, but not come in the state of ihram. They might think you're in the state of ihram, then you could at least get your way in as your last final farewell tawaf, and you get to go in the mataf area. That's one thing you could do. That's something that brothers can do if they want to. But if not, the technical thing is if you're not in the state of ihram, then you go on the second floor. And those tawaf can at least take 2 hours minimum. Hajj time definitely 2 hours to do full tawaf, which is 7 rounds is considered tawaf. Just keep that one thing in mind. Everyone, almost in every group you are in, everyone's warning and scaring people about the heat. So don't drink too much of sodas and juices and other drinks. The best drink that you can find there, which is nothing but subhanAllah blessing, and you could feel the nutrition, is Zamzam. And there is so just make sure we are drinking that in abundance, and you will find, mashallah, are we live? Yeah. So just take benefit of that. Other thing that I'm going to remind people is your money. Keep your cash with you. You'll see a lot of workers around. There'll be lots of them, and that's what they do, mashallah. They have the honorable job of taking care of the haramain. At the same time, they are at very, very, very minimal wages. These are the workers from all different parts of the world. They call them to take care of it. They leave their family behind. They also sort of indirectly count on the Muslim Ummah to give them some, they call it bakshish, like a tip. You don't have to. No one has to give it. But you might feel like you should take some money. Let's say, like, you take some money, whatever money you take, you probably divide it into 3 portions. You don't have to, but this is what I do. Some of the stuff, like, you're spending on yourself, your family, and like you eat. Other portion, try to buy some gifts for your friends and your family members. Like, you had to come and, buy something for others. And then one portion, you should also just try to come with the intention of sadaqah. And you might find people give you something. Hey, you know what, $50 is from me. Just go, what do you call, exchange and then give it out to people. This is $100, or you just have that. Change it. The currency exchange people, every building, every corner they're called sarraf. They'll write down in English, currency exchange. We in America, we are not used to, because everywhere we go, Europe, we go, it's all dollars or credit card. Those people, they are used to dealing with hundreds and thousands of dollars, US dollar, they'll probably $100,000 bills right there. They'll just throw them and come back. So, sometimes some people who have never did currency exchange, they have $500. They're like making sure, they're like, here. Then he'll just take it, throw it there. I'm like, what happened? They have no regard to that because they have loads of people coming in. He's so good at it. They'll just, while they're talking here, they give you the money back. And then they may have a mistake, but actually right now they have those machines. They'll quickly count. They give a receipt. They're out. They're not going to spend more than 20 seconds on you. When you give that $500, that whatever times 3.75, they'll give you big bills. So if you tell them hey, there's a 500 riyal bill or 1,000 riyal, I don't know if they have 1,000, but they have 500 riyal bill. How are you going to tip people? I mean, it's so difficult. So if you tell them to give a change, they will not give you. Unless the guy is nice, can you please break this up? Or you could tell them from before. Can you give me in hundreds or 20s? They will not give you in 20s. Maybe they'll give you in 50s and hundreds. So if you go to buy something, try to break your big bills first It helps you out because then you have a lot of small bills. Then you could give it out, pass it out to people. So that's one thing that you could do. Clothing, especially for brothers. When you go, don't pack too much, because more than likely you're not wearing more than one layer. If you have an undergarment, another t-shirt, or a thobe on top, that's how you're wearing most of the time. There's no jackets and everything. So now some people might say that there are laundry services available, which they are. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Just take your undergarments. You have a shirt on, it gets dirty. Buy a thobe. Buy a thobe. They're all everywhere. Just buy it, or a hijab and abaya. Wear it. That's you want to buy new stuff anyways, because that's where it is. It's dirty, put it in there. Don't need to wash. Buy another one. And then you put it in there. And this has, alhamdulillah, saved me so much time, because I see some people, they take 4 pair of clothes, then they run around everywhere to get that washed, and then they come back, and the person who washed their clothes, they have to find your hotel and make sure you're in the room to give it to you. You're wasting time. Try to save time as much as you can. Especially in the clock towers, those who are in the clock tower cluster, you will see, subhanAllah, the mall that you have probably never seen anywhere in the world. Maybe Dubai. Dubai probably beats Makkah hotel malls. Meaning, don't get mesmerized by that. That's my point. You're going to the house of Allah just down the street. SubhanAllah, they made it so lavish and flashy that some people just want to spend all their time there. No. Spend the time in Makkah. Yeah, if you're hungry, then find out 1 or 2 places that fits you or someone have recommended you. Just go there, eat, and come out. Because if not, you can be walking around from different hotels to different shopping centers, and you will waste so much time. Every single hotel has a mall, like floors of mall underneath that, right? So if someone tells you, oh, I want this thobe, brother, or I want this perfume, if you go to Hilton Makkah, in there they have this store. I promise you, if you go to Hilton Makkah, there are probably thousands of stores there. Just like how it's in Clock Tower, that's like how it's in Jabal Omar and everywhere else. I'm sorry, I'm not going to take that commitment from anyone from here. You want a perfume? Okay, fine. Don't tell me from where and which kind, all the details. I'll get you. If you don't like it, next year go get it yourself. I'm not going for Hajj, especially for Hajj, for your perfume. Umrah, that's a different thing. If I get something, be grateful. It's from Hajj, accept it. If not, I'm sorry, we're not taking any of those responsibilities. Don't take extra responsibilities from people. Number 3, I was talking about the drinks, right? Food also. Maybe when you're done with Hajj, you want to explore different food options, then do it. But before Hajj and during Hajj, قُوت لا يموت, right? One of the sayings of the Sahabi companion, eat that much that does not kill you. Meaning, eat to live, don't live to eat, especially during the times before Hajj. So eat something that don't try some new items, and your body type and stuff like that. So there's another important thing about, yes, watches. If you're a smart watch, it really helps, especially if it's connected to your phone, so you're not constantly taking out the phones. One thing is utmost disrespect thing that I find it, not just me, almost every scholar around the world finds it, is when we're in Medina. I didn't even mention anything about Medina. My time is running out too. But when you're in Medina, of course, this is the place where our beloved Prophet ﷺ is resting. Utmost respect and humility and humbleness. When you're walking in front of him to give salams, you might find people taking their selfies and posting and having a live video. It's very, very disrespectful. Very disrespectful. If you want your family member or your friend to come, tell them to come. To see, they will never fully appreciate the grandeur of the presence of the Prophet ﷺ. But you are standing in front of the Prophet ﷺ. How dare you're engaging in with the rest of the world. Cut yourself with the rest of the world. Obama came, not a big deal. So what? Even in front of president of a country, we just act so, we present ourselves with respect. All garbage. We are standing in front of the best of the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our master, beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then people are engaging in their phones and taking their selfies. At that point, absolutely not. At that point, absolutely not. Maybe outside the haram if they want to, whatever, right? The other thing is, when you're doing tawaf, people take pictures with the background of Kaaba from the 2nd floor, 3rd floor. People want to do it, that go ahead. Or sometimes they want to make videos. In the Kaaba, when you're doing tawaf, it's haram. When you're doing tawaf, you need to be in the state of wudu. You cannot be talking to people unless if it's required.
Only thing you're doing is azkar. You might find people. You might find, I don't know, some. You might find Mike Tyson there. MashaAllah, you might find Shaquille O'Neal, right? Sharif Abdul Rahim, one of the NBA All-Star basketball player. He was, when I was doing tawaf once, he was actually in our group. And I see people coming, running, and taking a selfie with him. I'm like, astaghfirullah, man. I mean, who cares about him? And he was upset, like, brother, you're doing tawaf. It's actually very sad. When you're doing tawaf, either Hajj or Umrah tawaf or tawaf wada, that point you're in the state of ibadah. You're not talking to anyone. You're not taking selfies. You're not like having a video call or a phone call. If you want to do that, break your tawaf, go on the side, do your work. Once you're done with your tawaf, you want to take a picture, if you want to do a video, that's again up to you. But not during the tawaf. Because tawaf is in replacement of salah. It's like salah. Now another thing, I'm going to say this and then let's see if anyone have any questions. The only ibadah, so the time when you're in Mecca and the time when you are after Hajj, in Mecca, the only ibadah that you could do, that you cannot do anywhere in the world is tawaf. Right? So you don't have to do the full Tawaf and Sa'i. You have time. Lutfi's example, he's done. And he knows he has 4 more days. He could do his Tawaf al-Wida a day before he leaves. But he still has 3 days. He prays Salah, what am I going to do? Just sit down. We are so spoiled that we cannot stay away from technology, that always have to do something. Okay. You probably text your message to your family and friends, alhamdulillah, I'm here in Kaaba looking at it and making dua for you. People usually send those messages, that's done. What else can you do? You could read Quran. You could just do tawaf. Just get up. You have energy, just get up. If you feel tired, sleepy, just get up and do tawaf. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 rounds, that's your tawaf. That ibadah you cannot do anywhere else. Once you leave, you come back. You want to do tawaf right now? You cannot do it. Other thing, which is a very exclusive ibadah worship that you cannot do anywhere else, is in Mecca, is just looking at the Kaaba. Just sit and look at it. That is considered as ibadah. Subhanallah. The only side that you could look, 2 things. Prophet said there are 2 things just by looking at that thing or that person is ibadah, is worship, is Kaaba and your parents. Subhanallah. For those of us who have their parents, consider yourself lucky. Just by looking at them, that's ibadah. Kaaba, looking at them is ibadah, inshallah. There's so much more things to be said. But packing chargers for your phone, right? The adapters are important. Some of you still have time about a week. When you go in your hotels, in Mina, in Muzdalifah, they all have outlets. But these outlets are not the same like the ones you have. So if you have a phone charger that takes the US outlet, then find that, what do you call the travel adapter, the adapter that will convert, the converter, I think, so that you could charge that. Good to have a battery pack, but if the heavier it is, the difficult it will be for you. Because these days, Hajj with phone is sort of, you cannot do Hajj without the phone, unfortunately, because every single thing. In Medina Munawwara, if you want to go if you want to go to do Salam, and if you want to go in Rawda, there's a whole different process. Your group leader will let you know. Some of the group leaders already got that package for them to go in. Others might not. Speak with them, inshallah. Let's quickly ask some more questions. I have to jet in about 7 to 10 minutes. Yes, my dear. Face mask. If it's required for you because of your health condition, or because you think that you're prone to get sick, especially in the dust, then yes, you could put it on. The ulama, they say the lowest level of penalty, which is called sadaqah, about 5, 10 riyals, 15 riyals, it's good to just give that per day, ihtiyatan, on a safe side. So there are 3 stages of penalty. One is called sadaqah. Sadaqah in ihram. Is when you're very minor or unclear wrong, right? So sadaqah is often given in ihtiyatan, in a safe, in a precautionary measures. I know it's not wrong. They may be also different opinion, but I just want to give about 10, 15 riyal. Again, you could give it to any of those workers. That's why it's a good habit every day. Every time you go to masjid, just have some cash ready, and you give it out. By the way, one small point. If you're going to stop one place, and you have maybe 100 riyals or 500 riyals of 10 each, and you want to give out, you'll see everyone will crash into you. So you have to do it very discreetly as you're walking. You just give it to this brother, and they'll just open their hand, they'll take it, they'll put it in. Sister side, there you see a lot of sisters who are working, you give it to them. You also could give it to the brothers who are outside. you give it to them, inshallah. Sadaqah, you could give that. If you put a mask on, you could give sadaqah. Ihtiyatan, you could do that. Does that make sense? Next question. So, damp, or to just, put damping like this, it's okay. Aggressive rubbing on your face where, everyone has some hair or, eyebrows or something that just comes out, then you might have to give them. So the very good question. So to be safe side, just like damping the towel or paper towel or your ihram on it, that should be fine. Good questions, mashallah. Yes. Why are you doing 8? Because that's how your package is? No. No. So, this is where the groups, unfortunately, they cut corners because logistically it's just not possible. It's not possible to get everyone in. So what happens is if your group is entering in Mecca on the 8th from Medina, right? Because now you still have to do Umrah. That's why I think it makes sense you do Qiran. Because on the 8th you come in, you quickly do Tawaf, and then you still have to do Sa'i. It can be very daunting because you will not get much chance to rest. Then it's a whole group. Then they'll take you straight to Mina. So you'll get to Mina maybe at night, in the evening, depending on what time you do your Tawaf. More than likely, Tawaf will be faster because majority of them are leaving. So you make sure you try to get in the Mataf area, do your Tawaf, do your Sa'i. And if you want to come out of the state of Ihram, it's actually more inconvenient, I think, because then you have to go take shower and everything and put on another Ihram and then leave. If you just are in the same state, you don't have to shave your head, nothing. You just get on your bus. Whenever it takes you to Mina, you get to Mina. Even if it's late, even if it's night in your case, it's okay. Yes? No, just go in the just go in the haram and pray salah, look at the Kaaba, walk around. I wouldn't recommend going to the cemetery, going to any sites, nothing. I wouldn't recommend anything. Just wait as long as you can in your hotel during the daytime, especially when the sun is out in the evening, and eat minimum. Then don't explore. Don't do a lot of experiments on your food and your walking capabilities. Even though you think you can do it, just take it easy. Nothing. Salah is most important thing. Go down and pray salah and come back. Yes. Shoes. Yeah. So for sisters, mashallah, shoes, Air Jordans, whatever you want to wear, you could wear. Mashallah. The brothers have restriction. For if you could see what I'm wearing, purposely I wore this. A flip flop is the best. If you have the front portion of your foot, if that's covered, it's not allowed. So just keep that portion in mind. The one you're wearing is not allowed. No, it's not allowed. So the circle around the ankle is something that is not allowed. But again, the foot thing, some people take it to a very extreme measures. For brothers, of course, sisters, they can wear anything. For brothers, if you have a foot issue or if it really hurts, then to have something more brace kind of, or maybe something that's more encompassing, just wear it. And then, because if there's a reason, then you wear it, then you give sadaqah. If there's no reason, then you wear it, then you give them. But just keep those things in mind, inshallah. It's for brothers, especially also for sisters, it's very wise to keep an extra pair in your luggage, because if you lose it, don't look for it. Don't take somebody else's. Just wait for maybe figuring out maybe a different place. If someone took it, you're not going to get it back. Just walk back to your hotel. Not a big deal. Wash your feet and take out your new pair. If not, as you're walking, go to the store. There are stores everywhere. Buy another pair and come out. Yes. Yes. Thank you. I think you were asking that question. Somehow we missed. So the pebble has to be, it cannot just be a cluster of sand. It has to be strong enough that it can hold and you could throw it, right? So the good question. Yes, sister, you had a question? You had a question? Somebody else? Okay. Any other questions? Yes, absolutely. Headphones are okay. Hearing aids okay. Watch, belt, shades. Please take your shades. For those who have not seen the daytime in the haram, because you're gonna go for Dhuhr Salah anyways, right? Floor is marble, and there will be hardly any clouds. So that sun coming on you and reflection from the masjid, everything is marble. It's very bright during the daytime, very bright. Have your shades on if you are very sensitive. If you're not in the state of ihram, you know, kafiyah, the brothers that put their sisters, mashallah, put it on, because your neck, even that exposed, because the skin is very sensitive, even if it's exposed for 5 minutes, it will burn. You'll have a skin burn. So cover yourself all the time. Just put that on your head. I mean, subhanAllah, this is the Arab culture, and the more loose clothes you wear, even though you are sweating in it, full sleeves, it's better, because that then a little bit your body precipitation, whatever, there's some, but then any wind or you're blowing, it becomes cooler inside. So loose thobes for brothers, thobes are the best, right? So just every size you'll get it, just buy a little bit bigger, not exact fit. Mashallah, Lutfi is a very muscular guy. So you just go extra large or extra large, so it's loose. And that really helps you out because of the airflow, mashallah. Quran. If we cannot read Quran where it was revealed, then I don't know where else we will read. So the best form of ibadah, I just realized I should have repeated the questions when people are asking. So those who are online, mashallah. The best form of ibadah that we could do is Quran. Make it a point. Because there will be lots of hours that you will be sitting, whether in the bus, in the hotel lobby, in Mina and Muzdalifah. Make a point. Commit yourself. You know what? In this whole journey of 15 days, 18 days, 12 days, whatever days I have, I want to finish one Quran. Wow. That's a committed. And I want to challenge myself. If I cannot read the whole thing, maybe the translation of the Quran. I just want to engage, keep myself engaged. So I'm not talking to people. If you don't have a plan, something else will happen. Oh, Brother Naveed, you work for Helping Hands. Okay, yeah. Then he's like, oh, okay. Then if you ask him about Helping Hands, he will give you 3 hours of nice detail. Like, see, this is the wife saying, if you ask him anything, then he'll give you a 3 hours response. Cut yourself out. Yes, no. Hey, are you hungry? No. You give them that response, they will not ask you the second time. People might just engage. And some people have nothing wrong. Don't try to criticize others. Just focus on yourself. Don't be critical. If someone's doing it, maybe the whole night that guy read Quran, he just want to talk and just have some socializing. That's fine. That's his, he needs that. But I just need to focus on myself. Don't look at people from a critical perspective. Give people benefit of doubt. And again, I'm telling you, once Sheikh was saying that he was walking, one of my friend, Sheikh Makki, he was walking and this person came and pushed him so hard. So he's like, what happened? And he's like, I've never seen this guy before. Like, excuse me, what? He's like, you did this to me yesterday. And he's like, I never seen this guy. So people look alike. You don't have to take a revenge and just don't think that's the same person. Everyone looks alike. So just ignore and move on. And you'll see a lot of in the tawaf, you might see people coming and pushing you, especially if you're with a small group or maybe with your spouse or someone. If they are rushing, going against the flow, just let them just back out. Just let them do it. Don't use reasoning. Sit down. Sister, what? Listen, I was walking here. You cannot cut me off. You're going to sit down explaining that to somebody? You're wasting your time. Swallow. Okay, khalas, go ahead. Just. If you're in the line to get the food, someone just cuts you in. It's like, okay. Bathroom in Mina. Bathroom in Mina. Even though if you have a hotel, non-shifting, you'll still be spending good time in Mina. Don't go last minute. Of course, especially if you are in Al-Kabash camps, there are a lot of bathrooms there, because it's a VIP tent. For North American, we are about 40 minutes away from the Jamarat. Also, there are a lot of bathrooms there. Plan yourself properly. Be mindful of your water intake. Drink enough to know yourself. If you're not excessively in heat, then you could probably lower down your intake of fluids. But If you need to go to the bathroom badly, more than likely there will be a line of at least 5 to 10 people. Keep that in mind. So gauge yourself accordingly. If you're right there and you could just still, but then someone comes in, there's an elderly person coming in, he or she might feel like, obviously brothers' bathrooms are different, sisters are different. They might feel like they might just not be able to hold it. Then yes, give a room. But some might just cut through. And the logic or the customer service or the loyalty or the way how we deal with one another in America, it's not going to work. And don't try to impose that. Logic will not work. Just stay quiet. Okay, khalas, it's done. And then you realize at the same time, the majority of people are very accommodating. Oh, brother, you know what? Come in my line. They will let that. So just keep that in mind. Brother, you had a question? So the best time, I mentioned this, but it really depends. Depend on, when you got to, on the 10th day, when did you finish your jamarat, and how fit or energetic you feel at that time. What's the condition of people in, how crowded it is, and how quickly can you get to Makkah. There's a lot of factors. Most importantly, don't worry about every other factor except that if your body is ready, go do it. On the 10th day, this one point, the most important point for the whole Hajj for practicality is, if your body is ready, if you are mentally, physically, and if you have a partner with you, if you're ready after Jamarat, go do it. Even if it takes you 6 hours, do it. You will find a huge relief. And if you have a hotel or somewhere, you will crash and you will sleep. Just get up for Salah, come pray, and come back and just catch up on your sleep. Do it. If you're going to wait for next day and the third day, then now what happens on third day? What happens? You are forcing yourself. You're now paranoid. You're like, oh my God, if I don't do it, my Hajj is not going to, or I have a big badana, or whatever. The difficulties, travel is coming up. So earlier the better. Yes. No, if you know you have time and your body and you have a partner and whatever your hotel arrangements are, whatever different, then don't do it. Then you rather say, you know what? So plan your tawaf. And if it happens according to your plan, well and good. If not, you have second option and third option. If you plan that, you know what? I have a feeling everyone's going to go there, so I'm going to slowly back out and rest. We'll let everyone go and, compose myself, get energy, and I'm going to go in 11th after Fajr. Or even 11th, here's another good option. Okay, ready? 11th day at 3 o'clock at night, my wife and I will just walk. Because most likely on 11th, 2 o'clock at night, there's no one there. I'll get in the haram, I'll pray tahajjud, make tawaf, Fajr time will come, by the time I'll do my sa'i, I'm done. Get my point? You were not able to do this on the 10th. So figure yourself. It also all depends if you have time after Hajj, meaning on the 11th, 10, 11, 12. If you're not flying right away, then you could do all these experiments. But it's good to know your options so you're not just strictly following your group leader. Because they will tell you, guys, everyone come here, we have a bus arrangement. And then you feel like, oh my God, but the bus is good. But you're waiting for 6-7 hours for a bus to get there. So if it's, for example, Naveed and Samira, they're like, we can walk. We've been walking every day. This is it. All right, thank you. We know what to do. We'll go to sleep now. We'll get up at 2 o'clock at night and we'll go walk. And you will find that your option was the best at that time. But maybe there was a block. There was a rush. Everything is unexpected. Don't have fully expectations. Everything will go accordingly because we were talking about 4 million people, so everything will be unexpected, inshallah. Anything else? If you're not on the group, get on the group. Ask questions, inshallah. I'll post some more videos. Last question. 11th and 12th. I think you missed that part. Yeah. So you have to do 3 Jamarat on 11th and 12th. 13th if you're staying 12th night. For Maghrib. So 12th night, if you were there till Maghrib, you didn't leave Mina before Maghrib, then you have to pelt on 13th as well. So just remember that. So 13th, you have to just do the correspondence once your flight. What is June? 13th would be 16th, 17th, 18th of June. So 10th of Dhul Hijjah is the 16th of June. Right? Most likely. You have to look at the days. So then how it goes, just keep those things in mind. If your flight is very close, please do it earlier and do your Jamarat early morning on the 12th and leave. So those are the things. Lutfi, can you quickly ask me the questions? Oh, those are, okay. All right, Jazakumullah khair. Any other questions? If you, those who are from here and online, if you're not in the group, just ask Brother Lutfi or Brother Naveed, be part of the group, ask questions. I might, if I think of something else, I just have to rush to the airport right now, I have a flight. And I'll post some more videos if I think of something else. Stay connected to each other. Just because you're in a different group, communicate with one another. You okay, sister? All right. Connect with one another and ask questions. It's good to ask for help than just struggle by yourself, inshallah. Everyone will be there to help one another. I make dua that may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our Hajj, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala take us there safely, bring us back safely, and allow us to spiritually connect to Him and to His deen, inshallah, in this blessed journey of Hajj. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Jazakumullah khair. If anything good, it was from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Anything wrong or shortcomings, it was from my weakness. I ask Allah for forgiveness and ask you all for forgiveness. Jazakumullah khair. Wassalamu alaikum. Thank you, Lutfi and the team, for doing this. I believe it's recorded and it will be uploaded as well. Jazakumullah khair. Great turnout. I'm very happy. I was going to show Ihram, but maybe some other time. I don't have time right now. Brothers, did everyone receive the Ihram? And those who are going to Medina, they'll give you in Medina. If you have not received Ihram, then you can take one, inshallah. But if you already have one, don't take it. All right, assalamu alaikum.